So for the last 6 years, I've been releasing exclusively all my brand new original songs to patrons over at Patreon who support me with any amount that they choose, starting at $1 every month. They get at least one new original song. They get audio for a cover video that I make just for them. They get their names in the credit of that cover video. They get to download all of those items. I also have historically included one piece at least of bonus content throughout the month that I've called Wildcard. Sometimes that's actually pretty often been full albums, early release of full albums. If you've been following me at all, you know that I had 2 studio albums that I released through a label. We started working on a third one, and then basically it's dragged on for 10 years. And I just, 6 years ago, I was like, okay, what can I do? How can I release music without having to wait for other people to do it with my very limited resources? So at that time, I launched my Patreon membership where I can just directly release stuff to the people that actually want it. And also I started releasing solo acoustic collections until I could just kind of build enough of a rapport and, relationships with you all so that eventually we can do a crowdfunding project for another studio album that I have complete autonomy over. And that's been a long process. We've been on Patreon for 6 years. I think we might be able to do a full studio album, crowdfunding studio album next year. That's what I would like to do. But it all has yet to be seen. I have to plan it all out. So we'll see. In the meantime, we have the Patreon membership. So brand new original song every month. The songs typically include a prompt sourced from one of the patrons. And then 5 years ago, I wanted to do kind of a pledge drive for the membership because I don't really promote it throughout the year very much. So I wanted to do one, big promotion for the year for it. So I decided to do that exact process, but just write a song a day every day for a week. So the daily songs include prompts sourced from patrons. I write a brand new song every day and post it to my patrons there. I do that typically in the summer once a year, 7 songs in 7 days. This is the 5th anniversary of 7 songs in 7 days. So I am doing 30 songs in 30 days to celebrate the challenge turning 5 and also to celebrate our move at long last out of the Patreon platform into a platform that I'm building out for you myself that's hosted on my own site. I've been wanting to do this move for several years for a bunch of reasons. The primary one being that I don't particularly like the user interface for you on Patreon. And I can explain a little more why. Here, we're going to jump over to my screen so I can show you kind of some of the differences. So this is the sign up page for Patreon. If you're not a patron and you come onto my Patreon membership, you can see that it offers some tiers. It explains, what all is included in all the various tiers. I think in the beginning I had something crazy like 10 tiers. Now we just have 5. I wanted to make sure that if you wanted to participate, that you could. As far as the membership levels go, most of the memberships get the same content, just some of the higher ones get a few extra things. So historically, Green Room Groupie gets a special release, so you have to pledge at the $5 tier or higher to get this exclusive release that is available only through Patreon. The $10 tier and higher, they get access to lyric sheets and these lyric documents. Whenever I'm writing a song, I actually save those and archive them, so they have access to the sheet that I'm writing the song, so you can see all the mistakes. I have a system where I don't cross things out really. I just kind of do a line, so you can see all my mistakes and kind of what the process was for each song, which I think is pretty cool. If I had an artist that I liked, I'd love to see that. Band Geek is similar. You get everything except also get a chart for the month, and then I have a couple crazy people that want to give me $100 a month, so that's there. I don't really know what else to give, so super fans get immediate access to my entire digital discography. They also get access to basically to a VIP experience at a local show. I haven't had anyone actually take me up on that offer yet, but kind of figure we could have drinks or dinner before or after the show as long as it's planned, and guest list spots and that kind of thing. I mean, that's such a huge contribution that I don't even know how to thank someone for that. So that's what Patreon looks like. You can see there's a little video that kind of explains it. We have also community goals, which we've accomplished many of them. we did the digital poster last year when we reached 100. I released this exclusive Voice Alone, which was all of my audition songs and this entire ebook that related my whole experience about being on The Voice back in in 2010 to 2012, it was like a whole thing. And then some of you got handwritten notes. Anyway, we were getting kind of close to this 150 patrons. I wanted to open up kind of a poll of covers that you might want me to do and do a whole concert of those. I would still like to honor that. I just am not sure how I'm going to display that at this point, but and then you can kind of see these are all the posts so that you can see sort of what you're signing up for. So that is the basic how it works. When you go to join Patreon, you would then select one of these tiers and then create an account on Patreon, and they would sort of administrate all that. So what I don't love about it is just the general interface where, let's see, is this the one that where you access the content. So once you join, you primarily get access to the content through, I would say most of you interact with the Patreon content through your email. So anytime I create a post, Patreon, the way that Patreon delivers content, it's kind of like a blog. So I can create a post here and put things in, and create different kinds of posts, like an image or audio or a video, etc. And once I hit post on that, it adds it to my feed, like my blog feed on my Patreon membership, and it also distributes an immediate email to everyone who's a currently active patron. Patrons can turn that off, and many of you do. So there are quite a few patrons that don't really see the content unless they come into the platform on their own. So for that reason, this is when you have access. This is kind of how you see the content. Is this just kind of in this blog post feed, which is fine, and it's especially was fine when there were only 30 or 50 pieces of content, but we did that pretty quickly, like within the first year. So they do have some tags and stuff you can use to organize, but I don't think it works very well. So what I had resorted to doing was creating a post at the beginning of each month that had all of the songs, all of the original songs, because there's also a bunch of covers, there's full albums, there's bonus content, all of the original songs that I, promised as part of the, your main meat of the membership. I have the date that I published it and the link to the original post where it was published, so that you can then go to it and click on the post and read the essay and download it if you want to. You can see that's a lot of things. I mean, just in 2016, that's like, I don't know, 30 or something. And then we started doing 7 songs in 7 days in 2017. So there are about, on average, there's like about 20 songs per year. And we've been doing that for 6 years. So to me, not only is this cumbersome to administrate for me, but this is also, if you want to come in and listen to all this stuff, it's incredibly cumbersome because you have to click on this and then go to the page and then play it from there and then download it. Oh yeah, here we go. You can download it from here and then add it to your collection that way. And I know that we live in a world of streaming where a lot of you don't even use, iTunes or Windows. I don't know what the Windows version is, but Windows Media Player, whatever. I know many of you don't even use those things anymore. So some of you do, which is really cool, and you can just archive it if you want to. But if you don't want to, then that's kind of a problem, right? So I haven't liked that because if you don't get the content delivered to you through your email, then you're kind of having to be like, okay, what did I miss? And it's just a little bit cumbersome, and I've never liked that. For you, so I think it's so silly. There should be a central hub where you can see everything that's organized a little bit better. And this is what one of the more recent ones looks like. So you can, this is me kind of announcing the move. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So now I want to show you the vault and kind of what the difference is. Let me see if I can find. So this is just my website, and you can see that once you you'll actually go. this is the landing page. So this is very similar to that Patreon page I was showing you where you sign up. It needs to be filled out a little bit with some video and some more copy, but this is the basic premise. The tiers are almost identical, and I'll explain a little bit of that in a second. So whether you're here or whether you're anywhere else on my site, if you want access to the vault, which is going to be what we're calling the new membership area, you can access it from this login sign up button anywhere on the site, which is pretty cool. You just click on that. If you already have an account, then you'll be able to log into it from here or create an account from here. If you are already a patron, do not go directly to the Lexland site. Use the links that I sent you in the patron post where I've been announcing the change, because one of the changes that I'm doing is I'm actually raising all the prices of all the tiers from what we were doing at Patreon, because there is so much content now. It's going to be even easier to access it, to listen to it, to download it. It's 6 years worth of stuff, including a bunch of albums. So I feel like the lowest amount has historically been $1. I have many friends who've recently started Patreon memberships and they don't even have a $1 tier. Some of their bottom tiers are $3 or $5. So I felt like I've kind of put in the work and distributed a lot of content, and I feel like that my membership is at least that valuable. So if you're currently a patron, you have access to your legacy pricing, so your tier doesn't have to go up. It's just kind of a way for me to say thank you for your support all these years, for getting in early. You can still access your old tier price through the links in the post where I announced it. If you're a new Vault member, then this is where you'll go. You can go anywhere on the site, and it should show you all of the tiers. But you want to land on this page, the Vault page. It's just lexlandmusic.com/vault, and that'll explain all the tiers. I'm also offering annual memberships in addition to the monthly memberships, and I would like to offer 20% off to anyone who wants to make the commitment for an annual membership. So that's the same for if you already were a patron. Not only are you going to get the legacy monthly pricing, but if you want to do the annual, then you'll get 20% off of that. So included in all tiers, it's all basically the same. New original song download every month, a new cover song video with your name in the credits every month, which you also can download the audio to, all of the past content. The caveat here is that since I'm just building this out, yes, if you're a member of Patreon, you're going to need to leave Patreon and go to the Vault. I'll explain that in a second. So it's going to take a little while for me to migrate all the content over from Patreon to the Vault, but that's another reason why I'm doing this 30 songs in 30 days stretches, so I can kind of have a boot camp, get this all ready to rock for you guys. If you're a member of the Vault, I also want to offer you 10% off evergreen discount code on anything in the store. So if you want to grab CDs for someone's birthday, or get some special merch and there aren't any other offer discounts or promotions going on at that time, that you can use that code to get a little bit off the top. The other thing that's going to be different about the Vault versus Patreon is I'm going to have this archive of old recordings that couldn't really figure out how to do it through Patreon. I could have probably done all this through Patreon. It just would have been cumbersome and hard for you to navigate. And I just want to make it easier. Like you log in, you go to this page, everything is there. You can stream it all, you can download it all, you know exactly where to go to find the thing that you need, or you can also just do the blog posts like Patreon. You can also just get it through your email like Patreon. It's just going to be a little more fully loaded, so that you can, even at the bottom tier, you can get the most out of it if you want. So the archive is going to be like my very first demos from when I was like 12 or 17 or whatever. It's going to be like my very first EP that I released at 19. I think I have most of it. You'll be able to download that, or at least listen to it. And so here's the difference between, so everyone at every tier is going to have access to all of those things. Also, we've got, that's something I didn't add into this block. We also have an exclusive evening concert for members. that's been for patrons historically. Patrons in this new system are going to be called key holders, so otherwise active members, key holders for the vault. So key holders also get exclusive access to a monthly evening concert that's different from the regular live streams. There's usually some kind of theme, or I have a guest, like a special guest, and we trade songs, or my band is there. And so you will have access to that in all the tiers also. In addition to all the base level items that you're getting in these tiers, basically the main thing through with the supporter, like the base tier, that's different from the other tiers is that you'll only be able to. It's basically like what you've been able to do at Patreon up until now, which is you can download each item individually. You won't be able to bulk download things, which will be available for the next highest tier. So if you're a collector and you only want to come for 1 month, for instance, you could go in and you could grab everything and not have to go through each individual post if you didn't want to. So that's why that is there. So it's, if you want to do a little more than just listen, you want to engage with it a little more, I would recommend the listener tier. Word Nerd is the same, everything exactly the same, except you also get access to the lyrics and the handwritten worksheet for each song. And I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Band Geek, the same, except you also have access to cheaters. And cheaters are what I call like my chord sheets with the lyrics. I also do occasionally add in like lead sheets, actual band charts, so you could use it, play it with a band. And I would like to eventually include transcriptions, like score transcriptions, because Ari and I just did this songbook together. We really enjoyed collaborating with one another, and so I spoke to her about putting together possibly monthly transcriptions of songs. We're not quite there yet, but that will be included in this tier eventually. And then of course there's just the crazy high tier like that people have opted into before. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing that. You'll get basically the same stuff: a VIP meet and greet at a show, just kind of full VIP treatment, as well as immediate download of the digital discography. Again, if you are a patron, don't use this page. If you're currently a patron, don't use this page to sign up, because these are the new prices. So use your links in the Patreon announcement post to access your old price. Unless you want to up your membership, that would be awesome. We're doing a pledge drive after all. And again, if you choose an annual membership, it'll save you 20% off of the year. All right, and then I think everything, this just at the bottom kind of explains a little more like what you get, how it all works. So that's the home page, and that's similar to the old Patreon homepage. Once you log in and sign up, you're going to have a home page. It's very exciting. I'm so excited. So you're going to have a home page. You'll be able to come back to this page whenever you want. You'll be able to access the posts like in a feed, how you used to be able to at Patreon, which is super cool. It'll look like this. And actually, I'll just take you to it. So this is what since we are just getting started, there are only 3, but I'm going to be adding, all of the new content to this, as well as, adding all of the old content into the posts with the original dates that they were published. So you'll be able to access that like you used to be able to at Patreon. Also on the home page, there's the prompt submission link. Some of you are like, wait, I can't remember how to find the link. Now you'll always have it right there. These need to be added, but you're also going to get that discount code for the 10% off. That's going to change monthly, so that's going to be a link here. And then because the monthly concert links are always different, I'm going to create a special page for that, which you can click on. That'll have the date of the next concert as well as the link that you'll need. I'm also hoping to get like your subscription management in here. I just haven't figured out how to add that link there yet. So on your homepage, you're going to have like an in case you missed it style list of the 3 most recent posts. And then you're also going to get access to these private SoundCloud playlists with all of the songs organized by year and category. So, for instance, this is going to be our 30 songs in 30 days list. Even at the base tier, you can download these items individually from here if you like, or you can just stream them, which is pretty cool. So this is the 30 songs in 30 days list. These are the monthlies that we've done for the rest of the year for 2021. And then, of course, cover songs that we've done for 2021. 2021. It's taking me some time to build this all out. So eventually you're going to have you'll have one that says 2020 monthlies, 2019 monthlies, 2018 monthlies, 2017 monthlies, so that you can just stream them like this. If you have an afternoon, you're cleaning the house and you just want to get caught up, you can do that, which you haven't been able to do before. There's also a little block here where you can see all the dates for the upcoming concerts, so that you know, I've been posting that a couple times a month, but then again sometimes it's wait, what is the date? And then you have to dig through the post to figure out when the date is. That's so silly. And so I'm gonna have the dates here now. There's a quiz at the end. That's the cool thing though, is once you sign in, you go to this page and everything is there. You're not gonna have to dig through stuff anymore or be wait, what did she say? When did she say it was gonna be? It's gonna be awesome. This is also a link to the main calendar, primary calendar on my website. So you'll be able to access see what dates the vault concerts are coming up. Those are the exclusive monthly concerts. You're going to be able to see the dates for all the upcoming concerts. You're going to be able to access that link. And then you're also going to see that, I haven't posted it yet, but the date for that month's concert, as well as all our other community events. So if you're wait, when is the One Big Dark Room stream? You can, you'll just have it right here. This calendar, of course, lives at my website anyway, but this is your central hub for everything, We have some quick links at the bottom. So if you want to view the discount code for that month, if you want to visit the store and use your discount code, or if you want to go to the Discord, that is right there. That's our community forum. So that's what your homepage is going to look like. It's looking a little lean right now because we're just starting, and I'm going to have to go retroactively, go back and add all of the posts from the old platform into the new platform. So right now it's just going to be current. Oh, yes, I do have more ideas. There are more things I want to add. But for now, I think this is a good place to start. You're going to have the blog feed just like you had at Patreon. So you can access that from the homepage. You'll be getting emails delivered to you unless you decide to opt out. I have to do some architecture on that on the back end of things, but you'll be still getting all of the content delivered to your email. It's probably going to be a little more this is the song, go to the post, which is basically what the Patreon emails were anyway, and then it'll take you to the post, and then this is what the actual post looks like. It's very similar to the Patreon ones. It's just a little sexier in my opinion. So you have your cover art, you have a way to stream the song, the prompt, who submitted the prompt, and then direct downloads of all the assets, the essay that goes with it. And then I'm trying to add a little bonus thing. If there's a reference for the song or some kind of inspiration, I'm putting that at the end. You'll also have a link to submit your prompt at the end of each post and a way to get back to your home page. I'm going to add another menu so you can get back to home. I just haven't done that yet. So if you subscribe at the Word Nerd tier or the Band Geek tier, I was trying to figure out the best way to administrate that. This link will not do a direct download to the item, but rather will take you to a database. Take you to a database where you can download everything. Now, what's cool about this is everything that I have in my master database. So even if if it's a song that wasn't actually posted to Patreon, you're going to have access to everything. So these are the lyric sheets that I was telling you about. This is the Word Nerd tier. You have lyric sheets. You can either just view them or you can click on this download and do a direct download. Some of the songs just have text if you wanted to copy paste it for some reason. And then just plain text. And then there's also the Song Worksheet. So I was explaining this earlier. This is actually the page that I originally wrote the song on, with all of my notes and stuff so that you can see. In the archive database, which I haven't built out yet, you'll have a similar base like this, except it'll have all the progress recordings. So when I'm writing a song, I have my phone nearby, and if I have an idea, I usually record it at least once so that if I get distracted or something comes up, I can walk away and come back and remember what I did. I call those progress recordings, and I do that throughout the process until I have something that's a little more complete, and that last one ends up being the sort of the demo that's used. But I actually keep track of all those progress recordings, and that'll live in a different database in the archive function. Similarly, there will be one like this for all the charts. There are things I want to add. This is Patreon was iterated upon, our membership there was iterated upon, and this is going to be iterated upon. I do have ideas for things that I want to add even more value to the membership, even at the lowest tier. One last thing that I want to mention, or I guess I need to mention a couple things. So the first question, the vault is going to replace Patreon. The vault is going to replace Patreon. It is, it's more comprehensive, so it is different, but it's going to be, basically the content I've been posting there is going to be at the vault. And so that leads me to the first question from, our first question from Sunny. If you're a member of Patreon, we leave Patreon and go to the vault, ? That question's, the answer is a little complicated because I want everything to be fair. Okay. So I've allowed you, legacy pricing in the new system. So you can sign up for the vault at your same tier. So you would sign up for the vault at your old tier amount and then cancel your Patreon membership, and you're just moving it over. There are a couple details I need to tell you about though, for if you do that, because I know a lot of people don't engage on a regular basis with the Patreon membership. I'm not going to close the Patreon membership down yet. I do want to eventually, but if I'm being completely honest, Patreon is a big chunk of my monthly income, and I don't want to completely wipe it away. So in the meantime, for the next few days, until some of the content delivery kinks get worked out, I'm going to be posting all the 30 songs and 30 days content to both places, at least for the rest of the week. Then I'm going to start to pare down the delivery frequency of the content at Patreon, so that if people are still subscribed there, they can still access the content, but I'm not having to administrate two separate membership sites, if that makes sense. But if you are able to, and you remember, I very much want you to move to the vault and cancel your Patreon subscription. One thing about that is that the way that they bill is different. So Patreon, they bill you at the very end of the month for your pledge for the next month. So because we just started a new month, you might want to wait until the end of this month to join the vault, because the vault billing, you will pledge your amount, they'll prorate it for the current month, and then you're charged for the following month on the 25th of each month, if you opt for a monthly plan. If you opt for an annual plan, you're just going to pay for the whole year up front, the day that you sign up. So I hope that explains things. So it kind of is up to you. You can, if you cancel your Patreon pledge today and you're kind of like, well, how am I going to access all the old stuff? Even if you cancel your Patreon pledge today, you have access to Patreon still for the whole rest of the month until, your membership would end at the end of this month. So, to answer your question, I would like you to move over to the vault and cancel your membership on Patreon. One note to add there, I cannot physically, personally delete any memberships from Patreon. I would have to close the whole thing down and lose everybody. So don't forget to cancel your membership. So I hope that explains things a little better. I want to move off Patreon. I want all new people to come to the vault. No more Patreon. So the transition is going to be tough because it's hard to get everyone's attention, and people are probably not going to want to do something new. They're not, it's hard enough to get you guys on board for Patreon. But I think this will be really cool because it's actually a little easier to sign up. It takes significantly less time to sign up, and there are so many pricing options. I'll be able to offer discounts occasionally on annual memberships. I can offer you a discount on annual memberships. I can, people that are involved in my business side of things will now, like Ian, he'll be able to access everything in the vault for free now, which he wasn't able to do before. Which big shout out to Ian, by the way. He did all of these art assets, and I would be 5 days behind if it weren't for him. It looks so great. Thank you, Ian. So he'll be able to have access to that, that kind of stuff. I'll be able to offer free trials, try it out for 7 days or whatever, and then sign up the tier that you want. I wasn't able to do any of that with Patreon. So there are a bunch of workflow things, administrative things, marketing things that are that this new platform is going to provide me that I haven't been able to do with Patreon. So this is a really cool and exciting next step. And more importantly, the UI for you is going to be so much better. So it'll take a little time to get it all developed. I'm doing it all myself as usual, and it'll probably take some time for you to get acclimated to it, but I think in general it will be easier. Just to cap it all off, we're doing our annual pledge drive. Historically that's been for Patreon, but this year we're opening up the vault, which is similar to the Patreon membership but extra stuff, and so we're doing 30 songs in 30 days to mark the anniversary of the 5th year anniversary of 7 Songs in 7 Days annual songwriting challenge / membership drive. So I'm writing a song every day for a month, for the month of September. Those songs include prompts sourced from the members of the vault, from key holders. And then it sounds like Scott and I were talking earlier, it sounds like we'll probably do a weekly concert maybe, so I can play all the songs live for you for the first time, as we've historically done for 7 Songs in 7 Days. One last thing I wanted to mention. Last year, for 7 Songs in 7 Days, I offered a limited edition lapel pin. It's a little silver key. It's the Lexland logo. And my thought behind that was I wanted to do one each year. So as long as you're a member at a certain tier, you could get like a pin for each year that you could collect over the years. So each pin will be a different hue. And so for this year, I wanted to do, since it's 5 years of 7 Songs in 7 Days, it's our 6th anniversary of the membership, we're moving over to the vault, I'm going to do a rainbow plated key pin, so it'll look exactly like the pin from last year, except it's going to be rainbow plated, which is why there's this beautiful gradient of all the Lexland brand colors on the vault, so you're going to have a little rainbow pin. If you're not yet a member, you want to subscribe for at least 1 month at the $7 tier before the end of September. If you are already a patron, just move over to the vault at the $5 tier, which is the same tier, and to be able to be eligible to get your pin. I'm only going to order as many as people that are eligible for it. So if you want it, you have to get it this way by signing up into the vault. Okay. Now we're gonna do some music.